Of tonight's starting lineups. Let's go down to our public address announcer, the one and only Brad Howe. Brad?
And now the starting lineup for the Glenlawn Lions. A 5'6" guard, number 4, Jane Legal Antoniuk. A 5'11" forward, number 11, Michelle Smith. A 5'10" guard, number 13, Tracy Adolph. A 5'9" forward, number 32, Alana Warnick. And a 5'7" guard, number 55, Vanya Drobic. And now the starting lineup for the home team on the scoreboard this evening, the Oak Park Raiders. A 5'6" guard, number 5, Brenna Smith. A 6'1" post, number 24, Andrea Wilkie. A 5'6" forward, number 25, Shannon Yeroshak. A 5'8" forward, number 44, Margot Blues. And a 5'8" guard, number 44, Jennifer Parisian. The Glenlawn Lions are coached by Brian Kornberger. The Oak Park Raiders are coached by Murray Brown and managed by Shannon Walterson. Tonight's referees will be Phil Sam, Frank Rosenfeld, and Greg Shipansky.
Thank you very much, Brad Howe, for the introduction of those starting lineups. We're just about ready for the first provincial final. You'll see both hopefully here tonight. The boys and the girls going at it. Our girls game featuring the Glenlawn Lions and of course the Oak Park Raiders. Our second game will be the Collège Jean Sauvé Olympien taking on the John Taylor Pipers. Coach is having some final last words with their teams before they take to the court here. We will let you know that the visitors on the scoreboard are the Glenlawn Lions. They will be wearing red with white trim, and they will move from left to right on your television screen. The home team will be the Oak Park Raiders. They are moving from right to left, and they're wearing white with blue trim. There we get a look at the Raiders. As you mentioned, Missy, 4 battles between these teams, 3 of which have gone to Oak Park.
And they've had extremely close games. This being a provincial final, a lot of times teams start off a little bit nervous, but once they settle down, I'm sure these girls are going to take to the court and play very hard.
Legal Antoniuk over to Drobic, inside to Smith. Smith up top. That's Warnick. Alana Warnick wearing number 32 tonight for Glenlawn. Up top, there's Michelle Smith, one of the keys to this offense of Glenlawn. Legal Antoniuk to Smith. Smith looking for some help. Gets it up top to Drobic. Drobic on the wing to Warnick. Legal Antoniuk to Smith. Lions moving the ball around very well right now, but not finding anything open underneath.
Well, they're showing a lot of patience here, passing the ball around, looking for that opportunity. We might just have it there on the drive.
Smith with a shot, doesn't fall for it, goes in and out. Stepping out of bounds was Margot Blues. Lions will maintain possession.
Well, Sean, the last 2 nights, we've seen this particular rim being extremely unfriendly.
And we don't mean in a social manner. It's been very difficult for teams, unless they're putting in an absolute swish. It's tough for the ball to go down. The unforgiving rims here at the Duckworth Center. We have a bit of a delay here. Phil Sam hands the ball off to Jane Legal Antoniuk, and she gets it into Smith. Hands it back off to Legal Antoniuk, now to Drobic. She's one-on-one in the corner. Fires it back up top. The Lions have had the ball for the most part here, setting up their half-court offense in this first minute of the first quarter of the Provincial 4A Girls High School Basketball Championship. Legal Antoniuk drives, dishes to Drobic.
Oak Park playing really good defense here. Sorry, Sean. Glenlawn not getting much of an opportunity here. They're trying to get the ball inside, but they're just passing around the perimeter right now.
Smith to Drobic. To Legal Antoniuk. Looking for Warnick. Warnick goes by Parisian. Shot goes off the plate. It's rebounded by Blues. And now Oak Park with a chance to do something with the ball. Parisian guarded closely in the corner. Ball goes out of bounds. Oak Park will hang on to it.
Again, Glenlawn doing a good job with that pressure. That was Alana Warnick knocking that ball out of bounds, but Oak Park maintains possession.
Glenlawn showing full court pressure early on. Parisian breaks it though. Comes up court, fires it over to Brenna Smith. Smith to Plews. Plews to the ball fake, but she traveled. Lions will get the ball back.
Well, she faked right here, went to go left, but took a step before putting the ball down.
Right idea, but wrong execution for her. And Glenlawn gets the ball back. We've got no score, and we've played 2 minutes here in the first quarter. Almost a full house. People still filtering into the Duckworth Center here. Check out this action. The ball goes out of bounds. Smith with it, gets it into Parisian.
See the press again put on by Glenlawn. Oak Park struggling just a little bit getting that ball over the center line.
Parisian over for Smith. Ball was deflected. Goes back to Parisian. Smith finds Wilkie open in the paint. The shot goes up off the glass and down. Oak Park draws first blood. The basket goes to number 24, Andrea Wilkie.
Well, Andrea Wilkie was reaching nice and high up on that shot. At 6'1", there's not many people going to stop her, so she took advantage of her height and her reach.
Jump ball called. The possession arrow points in favor of the Oak Park Raiders. They will have the ball to inbound on the baseline in the forecourt. Ball comes in, Parisian to Smith. Parisian. Shot doesn't go. Rebound underneath by number 25, Shannon Yaroshak. She gets fouled in the play, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2. Looks like that foul goes against number 13, Tracy Adolph. Adolph's first team foul, number 1 of the half. Yaroshak misses the second. Ball's taken by Smith. 3-0 the score in favor of Oak Park. Drobick on the baseline. Adolph trying to battle for position against Wilkie. She gets some space in the low post. Drobick doesn't give it to her, though. Warnick up top. Good defense by Oak Park. Ball's taken by Yaroshak, and we're going to have a foul. This will go against Jane Legal-Antoniak. That's her first. Team foul number 2 of the half.
Well, Oak Park playing very strong defense here. They're anticipating the pass. They're going for the steal, and right there, they did get that turnover.
We have a timeout called on the floor. We've played 3 minutes and 18 seconds here in the first quarter. Our score of the Oak Park Raiders 3, the Glenlawn Lions no score. Let's listen in to one of the huddles.
We've got chances for back doors that are at least 80% chances, and we're not throwing the ball. We got penetration that we can take the ball to the basket with. Now, right now, we're a little change of pace. We're going to go to wheel, and I want us to get aggressive in nature. Okay, let's go at it, guys. 3, 2, 1.
Oak Park's inbound on their end of the court. Glenlawn picking them up at the half court. Parisian with the ball. Cross to Smith. Back to Parisian. She takes the shot. It's blocked by Rhea Zudden. Ball's taken again, though, by Oak Park. It was Plews who got the ball back. Down low, Yaroshak goes up in traffic. Shot doesn't fall for her. Rebounded on the part of Diana Rayner, who's now in the ball game for the Lions. Rhea Zudden to Legal-Antoniak.
We've seen Oak Park put on a little bit of pressure here. Glenlawn easily getting across the center.
When we get an opportunity, we'll show you the right biceps and shoulders of the Glenlawn Lions players. They have a very special tattoo that they've worn tonight. So when we get an opportunity, we'll show you that and explain what they've done. Rhea Zudden with the ball. Up top to Rayner. To Smith. Smith drives. Kicks it out to Rhea Zudden. It goes through her hands and out of bounds. 3-0 to score for Oak Park.
Looked like Smith just lost her balance a little bit, almost tripped, so she went to dish the ball out, but uncontrollable.
Almost a travel there by Parisian. The Glenlawn Lions fans wanted a walk there. They didn't get it, though. Parisian dishes. There's Plews on the baseline. Dumps it in. Wilkie across to Smith from the junction. Doesn't drop. Ball slapped away. Can Glenlawn keep it? Yes, they do. It's Legal Antoniak. She starts to break for the Lions. Comes down the court. And we're going to have a foul. This will go against Shannon Yaroshak. And I believe this is Shannon's first.
Well, Jane Legal Antoniak was driving to the basket, made a nice move, changing hands, and that caused the foul. Shannon Yaroshak reaching in.
The key matchup that Chuck Clement talked about early on at the start of our broadcast. One of the things that happened in the most recent matchup where Glenlawn beat Oak Park is Coach Murray Brown said that Legal Antoniak just pretty much ate up the Raiders team. So they've got to try and neutralize her tonight.
That's for sure. I mean, she's one of the top scorers for the Glenlawn team. She leads in scoring, assists, and steals. So definitely a threat on offense. So if you can try and stop her, it could make the difference in this game.
Ball's lobbed to Parisian, goes down low to Plews. Ball's blocked, and now taken by Alana Warnick-Burkett with the block.
Well, Plews had a good opportunity to pass it. They're just telegraphing the pass a little bit. It's important to make a fake and then pass.
Legal Antoniak into Burkett to Rayner. Rayner with the ball, looks for Legal Antoniak. Dumps it into the post. There's Burkett driving on Wilkie. She goes up. And after 5 minutes and 37 seconds, the Glenlawn Lions finally get their first basket.
Well, and that was a very good move by Diana Rayner. She was double teamed for a second there, but just made a good move, got around the defense, and drove to the hoop.
Yaroshak to Parisian. 3-2 the score. A good defensive battle here tonight in this provincial final. Brenna Smith to Yaroshak. Up top to Parisian. Parisian ranked number 2 in the province by the Winnipeg Suns top 10 coaches poll.
One thing Glenlawn's doing very well right now is their defense, and you notice that they are coming out on Parisian. That's because if they had an opportunity to scout the semifinal, we saw Parisian sinking a lot of three-pointers, so you've got to honor her out there. And one thing we're seeing is Ria Zuden coming right out on her, playing aggressive defense all the way to that three-point line.
Plews and Parisian take a seat. Coming in, Emily Rimmer, number 33, who played a fantastic game in the semifinal. No, Parisian staying on the court, I should say. It was Rimmer that came in only for Plews. We have substitution return to play Vanya Drobic. She'll replace Diana Rayner.
Emily Rimmer, a very academic student, 98.7 average, and also had time and found time to coach junior high volleyball this year. So nice to see her giving back to the sport.
Wilkie with the basket on the rebound, 5-2. The Raiders lead it with 3:40 to go in the first. Full court pressure by Oak Park. Legal Antoniak breaks the pressure. Guarded closely by Yaroshak. Ria Zuden to Warnick. Warnick moves the ball around to Legal Antoniak. Back to Ria Zuden. Trying to engineer something here on offense.
Well, Glenlawn being very patient, and a lot of that's because Oak Park is playing extremely tough defense here, man-to-man defense, and they're staying right on the player.
Drobic on the right wing. Up top to Ria Zuden. 3 minutes to go here in the first. 5-2 the score in favor of Oak Park. Ria Zuden guarded by Parisian. There you see the matchup. Ball gets moved around. Legal Antoniak drives down low. Underneath. Trying to avoid the 3-second call. Ria Zuden with the shot. It goes short. Burkett makes the save, but it's taken by Wilkie. Parisian starting the break. Goes ahead to Yaroshak. Cross to Smith now. Back to Parisian. She's wide open. She takes the shot. Ball's a little short. Yaroshak with a board underneath. She hits it. And she's fouled. I believe this foul will go against Alana Warnick.
Well, I think we're going to see a lot of the points tonight being scored in that same situation. They're taking outside shots. They might not be falling in right now, but the teams are there. They're boxing out. They're getting the rebound, and they're going up very quickly for the easy two.
Shannon Yarashak only 5'6", but they like playing her down low in the post when she gets opportunities, especially on those backdoor passes. And she's at the line now to try and complete the three-point play.
Shannon Yarashak, one of the co-captains of this team, and was also a member of the volleyball team.
Ball's passed ahead to Smith, who's back into the game. 2:10 to go, 7-2 in favor of Oak Park. Legal Antoniak to Smith. Warnick to Drobick.
Glenlawn doing a really good job of moving without the ball, making a lot of cuts, trying to get in the open, shake off the defense, but Oak Park playing, like we mentioned before, very tough defense here.
Legal Antoniak driving on Yarashak. Yarashak will be called for her second foul. Missy, Chuck was talking at the top of the broadcast about that important matchup. So far it's going Legal Antoniak's way just because Yarashak has 2 fouls.
That's right. They can't afford to have Shannon Yarashak get into foul trouble. She's got a very tough person to cover because Jane Legal Antoniak is a big part of the offense for Glenlawn. So she's got a very tough matchup, but she does have to be very, very careful. They can't afford to lose her on the floor.
Jump ball called. Possession error points in favor of Glenlawn. Margot Plews comes into the game. Back into the game, I should say. She replaces Shannon Yarashak. Also into the game for the Oak Park Raiders, number 35, Marcia Murdoch, who was wearing her lucky hat and listening to her lucky music, she was telling me, before the game. And she's done that every game this season, and so far, they've been very lucky.
Well, if it works, you want to continue doing it. And a lot of players do stuff like that just to get motivated and up for the game.
But she's not superstitious.
No, not at all.
Timeout called on the floor. 7-2 the score in favor of Oak Park. Let's listen to Coach Murray Brown.
In Jane's face all the time. Okay? Everybody else be aware of that. Okay, that was great help, but that's what we got to keep doing. Hey, stepping and recovering. Stepping and recovering. All right? Offensively, we want to run high post, okay, with a baseline cutter. So let's make sure that we get through there. Remember when to drop, right? When that pass goes down the baseline, that's when we want you to drop. Look to seal, Burkett. You get that ball. Attack her. Okay, attack her. Hey, you're playing great defense. Let's keep working, girls. Come on now. 3, 2, 1.
Coach Murray Brown saying that his team is playing very good defense. He's not kidding. Only 2 points scored by this Glenlawn Lions team at 127 to go in the first.
Well, they're certainly not giving them much space, so it's not giving Glenlawn an opportunity to shoot. One thing he wants his team to continue to do is the baseline cutting that we've seen them doing, and that's creating a little bit of opening for them and an opportunity to score.
Smith up top to Drobick. Drobick guarded by Murdoch. They go to Smith in the high post. Smith tries to drive. Ball hits the deck. We're going to have a jump ball called. And on the alternating possession, the Raiders will get it this time.
Well, Michelle Smith in a very tough predicament there. She kind of got caught between 3 players, and Oak Park just reached in and grabbed the ball.
Burkhead goes out, Rayner back in. Both teams substituting very liberally here in the first quarter. 7-2 our score. Oak Park leads it. Plews to Wilkie. Ball slapped away by Legal Antoniak. And I believe she'll get called for the foul. Yes, foul goes against Jane Legal Antoniak. And I believe that's her first. No, it's her second. So both guards in that matchup now, Missy, with 2 fouls.
Well, 2 players, very valuable players that are going to be needed on the floor. So Jane Legal Antoniak is now taking a seat, a little bit of a rest. And in for her is Monica Blizzard. Andrea Wilkie doing a good job from the line, sinking the first one. You're going to see a lot of the offense coming from number 24, Andrea Wilkie. And she was ranked number 5 in the province, a top 5 player.
Ball's taken by Smith. Less than a minute to go here in the first. There you see the clock superimposed on our screen. Drobick gives it to Warnick. Lions trying to protect the ball. That foul will go against Jennifer Parisian. That'll be her first.
Well, the referees are calling it very, very tight so far. It looked like she was just trying to push that ball away, but got called on the foul, so maybe a slight reach in there. Unfortunately, Glenlawn on that inbound lost control of the ball.
Ball goes to Parisian. Just 34 seconds remaining now in the first quarter. Plews gets her shot blocked, but she's fouled. As you can see, 30.8 seconds remaining in the first quarter. That foul goes against number 14, Diana Rayner. That's her second. Team foul number 6.5. Plews at the line. This is the first. Both teams trying to make substitutions here, and we'll try and get a look at number 31 of Oak Park here coming into the game. Krista Yarashak, a special day for Krista, not just because her team is in the provincial championships. Obviously, that's special enough, but it's her birthday today. So happy birthday to my buddy Krista Yarashak, and we won't tell the folks how old she is, but she's certainly much more mature being this one day older.
That's for sure. And what a way to spend your birthday, playing in the provincial final.
On Cable 11, the best way to spend a birthday. Basket there by number 33, Emily Rimmer. Puts her team up 10-2 with just 16 seconds to go in the first quarter. Long pass down the court to Adolph. Adolph looking and finding Smith. Smith has 10 seconds to work with. She drives, dishes it back out. Drobik's got the ball. She's only got 4 seconds. She's got to do something with it. Riza to Drobik. Shot at the buzzer, goes high and long, and almost hits one of the cameramen on the baseline. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, more championship Saturday action here on Shaw. Stick around.
Boy, are we having fun today in the workshop.
Woodworking is child's play if you follow the rules of an expert.
Always adjust your blade to the appropriate height, teeth just up high enough so that they're raking through the wood.
Join Rene Canton as he takes projects from the beginning to the final touches.
Once I know everything's set properly, I can then begin to drill my finished piece of wood.
In the Workshop, weeknights at 7 on HGTV, Home and Garden Television Canada.
Think she'll be on time?
Nah, she never is.
Welcome back to Cable 11's coverage of the Provincial High School Basketball Championships. Let's listen to Coach Brian.
Got the post, you got the forward. Now what I want to see on offense is motion, and when those driving lanes open up, you guys start taking to the basket. And when you got the ball, be aggressive. Be aggressive. All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Some words there from Coach Brian Kornberger talking to his team, saying they want to run some motion on offense, get some people cutting to the ball and getting open. And he was also saying, Missy, that they should be aggressive on defense, or on offense, I should say.
That's right. They're going to try and move the ball around, move without the ball, and as soon as they get that opportunity to drive, they've got to be aggressive, take advantage of it. It's the only way they're going to get some points on the board.
10-2 the score after the first quarter. Ball goes into Smith. Smith, turnaround jumper high off the glass, doesn't drop. Ball's on the deck. We're going to have a foul called. We'll see who it goes against.
That wasn't a bad shot taken by Michelle Smith. That's what the coach asked him to do. Take some shots, be aggressive. It appeared that she didn't quite square off to the basket and was a little off balance on that. But if she keeps making those good moves and takes advantage of that little bit of space and opening, they're going to start falling in for her.
That foul assessed against number 13, Tracy Adolph. That's her second. Team foul number 7, and that's why we're seeing Margot Plews at the free throw line, because it's the bonus situation for the remainder of the first half. Plews misses the front end. Ball's on the floor. It goes out of bounds. Referees look at each other. They don't know. And they give it back to Oak Park.
Well, it looked like two of the officials were unsure of which direction the ball should be going, but one of the officials did signal that Oak Park should be holding on to it. Sorry, Sean, it almost looked like they were going to call a jump ball because they were unsure.
Rimmer with the ball, finds Plews on the baseline. Her shot goes down. 10-point lead for Oak Park. Drobik to Legal-Antoniak. Ball goes ahead to Rhea Zudden. Smith. Shot from the outside. Michelle hits it. 12-4 the score in favor of Oak Park. And we get a look at the shoulder there briefly of Michelle Smith and some of the other Glenlawn Lions. If we can get a close-up later on, they're wearing Lions tattoos with clover leaves because they come from the Cloverleaf Conference, Missy, and they went and bought some of those at the mall today, and they wanted to look good for their fans and for everybody at home on television watching this game.
Well, and the Lions, because they are the Glenlawn Lions.
As we get a look at Michelle Smith and her pipes there, showing us the tattoo. We've got a timeout on the floor. Our score, Oak Park 12, Glenlawn 4.
Your side. You got to be aware of that. They're going to swing it all the way around. You know, we talked about, guys, listen. You guys are some of my most favorite people I've ever coached. And we're getting cheap fouls. We're not being aggressive. We're not remembering what we're supposed to do. And we look like we're really pressing out there. It doesn't matter as long as you walk off this court tonight and you know you've given it your best effort. And right now, if you walk off this court with you being so uptight, you're going to say, darn it, why did I let the moment pass by? Like, just go play the game and have fun and stay loose, okay? Now, we're going to run motion against these guys and start driving. And if someone drives, like, move over so you can get open, because what's happening, you're so nervous that someone drives and you all stand still, okay? Now, guys, let's stay out of the cheap fouls. Let's play good ball. And, guys, we can do it. All right, let's go. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Well, Sean, one thing that I really like that Coach Kornberger had to say to his team is, look, you're in the provincial final here. Let's at least have some fun. You need to relax. They're just playing a little bit too nervous. There's a lot of game to play, and a lot of hard work got them to this point. So let's enjoy the experience. Let's play our game. Relax.
Some of the very good comments here by Coach Kornberger. Relaxing is part of the key. Obviously, you want your team to be fired up and ready to play, but not to the point where tension is going to be diminishing their performance. You know, one of the best performance states is to be energized but relaxed at the same time and in control, and that's where he's trying to get his team at here in this provincial final. That's
right. When you're too tense, you can't play with the same skill level. A lot of times that's a difference in making the shots and not making the shots. So you have to be intense and you have to be focused, and yet you have to be somewhat relaxed as well, so you can play with ease.
Legal Antoniuk on the drive. Ball goes off the hands of Oak Park and out of bounds. 12-4 remains the score. We played 146 here in the second. You look at the star guard for the Lions, Jane Legal Antoniuk. Checking back into play is Marcia Murdoch for Oak Park. She'll replace Jennifer Parisian. Warnick, shot from the outside, doesn't drop. Rimmer gets the board. She starts the break, fires it down for Murdoch. Murdoch over to Rimmer. Back to Murdoch. Krista Yaroshak, the birthday girl, with the ball, double team. Ball gets intercepted by Drobic, who's double teamed in turn. And there's a foul called against Oak Park. This may go against Margot Plews.
Well, one thing Vanya Drobic did very well, she was being double teamed there, but she kept moving the ball, which did not give them an opportunity to reach out and just grab the ball, and it also resulted in the foul being called against Oak Park.
That's Plews' first, 10th on the before of the half. Legal Antoniuk ahead to Rhea Zedin. Monica Rhea Zedin, solid guard here. Only a grade 11 for these Lions. Warnick working against Murdoch, kicks it back out to Smith. Smith sees the lane, she drives, puts up the shot, it hits the plate. Ball's on the ground, it's rebounded by Murdoch. That's Rimmer to Brenna Smith, who's back in the ball game. Murdoch to Smith, wide open from three-point territory. Off the window and down. 15-4 Raiders.
Well, we're seeing Oak Park get a little bit of a lead here, and that three-pointer certainly helped.
11 points, the biggest lead thus far, and there's only been 15 scored. Warnick to Drobic. Bounce pass to Rhea Zedin. That's Warnick. Loses the ball to Plews. And then she'll get called for the reach. Oak Park will go to the line once again in the bonus situation. That's Warnick's second. And now, Missy, not only are Oak Park in the bonus, they're one foul away from the two-shot bonus.
That's right. Glenlawn has put themselves in quite a predicament in this first half. They are in foul trouble, and every time you're going to see Oak Park at the foul line, which gives them an opportunity to put even more points on the board without the clock running down. So something that Glenlawn can't really afford to do.
Blues hits the front end of the bonus. Increases the lead to 12. And she hits the second. 17-4. 13-point lead for the Raiders. Ball goes out of bounds. Oak Park will get it back again.
Well, Michelle Smith was unable to squeeze that ball there, but Glenlawn was doing a good job of passing their way out of that press.
Murdoch from the baseline. Ball goes around the rim and out.
Well, she was certainly robbed on that last shot because that went, it almost looked like it was in it. It did go around the rim and somehow popped back out, so certainly robbed on that shot.
Call a cop. She was robbed. She should have worn her lucky hat a little longer before she took that shot. Drobic with the ball for Glenlawn. 6:05 to go here in the first half. Five-second violation called against Glenlawn line. She could hear Brian Kornberger screaming from up here, Missy, saying, move the ball, move the ball. And that's why he wanted her to move it, so they wouldn't get stuck in a 5-second call.
That's right. She wasn't moving it around. She was sort of in the one position, dribbling the ball, but not really going anywhere, so it resulted in that violation being called.
Timeout on the floor. 17-4 our score. Let's listen in.
I don't know what he did to it, but...
This is it? We'll have Jen inbound. We'll have you inbound. All right, you still play the three spot. Yep, yeah, so you're still high. All right, so we're still running baseline with a high post. All right, we're just going to run Jen along the baseline. Okay, let's be aware of that. Hey, if you catch the ball long here, you got to keep your dribble alive. Okay, make sure you keep your dribble alive. Look, all right, we also have Andy. Once the ball's entered, Andy stepping to the elbow, right? Bren, just step. Make sure we have that pass, and then you read the weak side. Okay, girls, let's go. Come on now. 3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Missy, we just had a look at the Glenlawn Lion tattoo. There we see it again. Proudly displayed on the arm of Vanya Drobic, along with the clover leaves, which symbolize the conference they come from. That's a good sign of team cohesion and team spirit when everybody gets in on the act.
That's for sure. It really brings a team together, a little bit of bonding, and it is a team sport, so it's nice to see them doing that. And actually, I heard that if you flex that little lion, it starts roaring.
It roars, yeah. A lot of people don't know that about tattoos. It's part of the tattoo bodybuilding culture. Shot from the baseline by Parisian doesn't go. And this foul, I believe, will go against Emily Rimmer. That'll be Rimmer's first. Yes, it is. Rimmer with her first.
Well, Sean, it's easier said than done, but Glenlawn has to remain very calm, not get frustrated with the fact that they haven't put many points on the board, because they're certainly capable of generating a lot of offense. So it's important not to get down early in this game. They still have a lot of the game to play. And as things aren't working for them that well right now, who knows in the second half, the same may turn out for Oak Park. So important to stay very focused.
Legal Antonio going to the line after drawing that foul. Very good point, Missy. One of the other things to note is there haven't been a lot of points scored by Oak Park either. It isn't like it's 30-4 or anything. It's only 17-4. We've seen teams come back from 13-point deficits, including Oak Park, who was down by 14 in their semifinal and came back to win. So certainly not out of the question there.
That's right, and based on their past history this season, they've had very close and exciting games. So they ended up that way. They didn't necessarily start that way or were like that throughout the entire game, but in the end, they were close games.
Brenna Smith picked up that last foul for Oak Park. Legal Antonia couldn't make the free throws. Oak Park comes back with the ball. 17-4 score. We've got 5:17 to go here in the second quarter. Murdoch, left side. Across to Smith. Ball almost intercepted by Drobic. They go back to Smith, wide open for the shot. Doesn't drop. Goes out of bounds. Raiders will hang on to the ball.
Well, Wilkie did a good job of protecting that ball. She knew it went off Glenlawn, and she prevented any of the players from trying to save that.
$17-4 our score right now. Drive on the part of Rimmer. She gets knocked to the floor, and there'll be a foul called. See who this goes against. If it is Alana Warnick, that will be her third. Yes, indeed, Alana Warnick picking up her third foul. Rimmer at the line to shoot 2 in the 2-shot bonus situation.
Well, Rimmer attempted to drive by her, and the leg of Alana Warnick got in the way, which resulted in the foul being called.
Rimmer misses the first substitution, returning back into the game for Glenlawn. Number 20, Jillian Burkett. Just a reminder, folks, that Chuck Clement, our host, will have an interview at halftime. Make sure you stick around and watch that. Always enjoy the interviews that Chuck does and his insight he brings to all of our broadcasts. And that comes up at halftime here on Cable 11. Right now we've got 4:55 to go before the break. 17-4 the score in favor of Oak Park. Miguel Antoniuk, left side, running the offense. Works off the screen set by Smith. Tries to go back to her, but Parisian steals it. Parisian will slow things down, set up the half-court offense. Goes to Rimmer on the baseline. She goes up with the shot. It falls. 15-point lead right now for Oak Park.
Well, that's the first basket in a while for Oak Park as well.
As we mentioned, a very low-scoring game by both teams. 19-4 here with 4:20 to go in the second quarter. Smith drives, draws a foul. This may go against Parisian. If it does, it'll be her second.
Oak Park has a couple of players that were ranked in the top 10 this year. Andrea Wilkie, number 5. Honorable mention was Margot Clues, and Jennifer Parisian was a number 2 player in the province.
Get a look at another honorable mention. Michelle Smith, also an honorable mention for volleyball. Michelle's just a great all-around athlete. She does every sport she plays fairly well.
That's right. Very good athlete. A couple more players on the Glenlawn team were also in that top 10. Another honorable mention was Vanya Drobic and Jane Legal-Antoniak, the number 3 player in the province. So both teams have a number of players that were either in the top 10 or listed as an honorable mention.
No surprise that they're in this provincial final here at the University of Winnipeg's Duckworth Center. We got 3:50 to go here in the first half. Our score, 19-4 in favor of Oak Park. Ball goes out of bounds over to the Lions.
Sean, we'd also like to congratulate Heidi Schwartz, who was ranked the number 1 player in the province and a well-deserved award. She's a member of the MBCI team, 5'9" guard, grade 12 player, an outstanding player, extremely talented, and another player that was also very talented in volleyball.
Yes. 3-point basket there by Vanya Drobic. Back comes Oak Park. Players hit the floor. Balls on the deck. We've got a jump ball called. It'll go over to Oak Park. Just to follow up on that thought about Heidi Schwartz. Yes, she's got a ton of talent. She's the best player in the province. And Bison coach Colleen Dufresne and Westman coach Tanya McKay are drooling over her, trying to get her on their respective teams. However, the 3 nicest words that you could say about anybody that a coach could say, they all say about Heidi Schwartz, and that's a nice kid.
Well, and I'll tell you, it makes your coaching experience a lot better when you're coaching nice people who work very hard for you.
Makes you look like a genius, actually, often when that happens.
Well, I'll tell you, it makes coaching worthwhile when you deal with really nice people.
Mia Van Helder, another person I think of in that same vein. A very good kid, makes coaching a pleasure. Right now, we've got a foul on the floor. It'll go against Oak Park. Might go against, yes, number 5, Brenda Smith. That's her second. So we've got a few players on the floor playing with 2 fouls already, and the coaches are letting them go.
Suppose in a game of this nature, provincial final, there is a tendency to step up your game a little bit, play a little bit more aggressive, and sometimes you get caught for that.
Murdoch leading the break, sets things up, goes back to Smith. We've got 2:32 to go now in the first half. 19-7 the score in favor of Glenlawn. Or I should say Oak Park, sorry, over Glenlawn. Smith back to Rimmer. Plews across to Smith. Good ball movement. They get to Murdoch. Moving around. Drobic with the steal. She's got a lane. Smith's trying to cut it off. Drobic goes up. Shot doesn't drop, but Smith picks up her third foul.
Well, I was just going to mention that Oak Park doing a good job of making some very fast passes around the perimeter of the key there. But Drobic, great anticipation going for that steal.
19-7 is our scores. We get a look at Coach Murray Brown of the Oak Park Raiders. Drobic misses the first. Glenlawn wants to creep back into this one. They can't be missing the freebies.
Back into the game, number 31, Krista Yeroshak. Krista has had an opportunity to play on 5 different provincial championship teams.
Looking for her 6th here, obviously, tonight. And she and her sister are going to France, as we mentioned on one of our earlier broadcasts, as part of the French immersion program, along with Heather Thompson of the Oak Park Raiders. Steal on the play by Legal Antonia. She goes up and down. Cuts the lead to 9. It's 19-10 with $1:54 to go.
Well, the last few minutes, everything's been going Glenlawn's way ever since that three-pointer, so that might be the Cable 11 turning point.
We have a timeout on the floor. Let's listen in.
Once again, got chocolate milk. It's time to listen and win. Check your lucky number on your chocolate milk brochure to see if you want some free chocolate milk.
Baseline, okay? Sprint the baseline. Don't walk there. Okay? And be smart. What are we looking for off that baseline? All right? Let's make sure that we do it. Stop throwing that skip pass and stop going across. All right? It's step to the ball. Every pass. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Missy, for the first time here at the tournament, they've opened up both sides of the stands. We've got people filing in around us and finding some seats. A good crowd as anticipated for this provincial final.
Fun. I think they're going to be treated to an outstanding final with both the girls' game and the boys' game, which follows.
There you see some of the fans starting to walk in behind our broadcast area here. We have a foul on the play. It's charged against Vanya Drobic. It's her second personal. And that'll put Emily Rimmer at the line once again here.
I believe Emily Rimmer will be shooting 2 because they're at 10 fouls now.
Rimmer hits the first. (20-10) the score in favor of Glenlawn. 1:53 to go in the half. Rimmer hits the pair. Legal Antoniak into Drobic. Back to Legal Antoniak. Legal Antoniak guarded by Emily Rimmer. She goes to Smith. That's Rayner. Up top to Drobic. Rayner almost gets the ball stolen, and then Murdoch gets called for the foul.
Well, it looked like Murdoch had the steal there. When the Glenlawn player turned around, that was Diana Rayner, got the ball back and forced the foul to be called on Murdoch.
10 team fouls now both ways, so both teams for the remaining 132 here in the half will shoot the 2-shot bonus.
Well, this would be a golden opportunity for Glenlawn if they could make these shots and put some points on the board. It's got to give them a little bit of momentum going into halftime.
After being down by as much as 15 and only having 4 points scored through the first 16 and 17 minutes of this ball game, if they could go into halftime down less than 10, you've got to think of that as an accomplishment and build on that for the second half.
And it is an opportunity to prove that, yes, we can do it.
Plews, her shot doesn't go. Wilkie with the board, but she traveled. Lions get the ball back.
Sorry, Sean. Wilkie just got caught underneath the basket there, tried taking a step. She knew she took the extra one, but she went for the attempt anyhow.
Just a reminder, at halftime, Chuck Clement will be bringing us some interviews with people involved in the tournament, and we look forward to that. So make sure you stick around for Chuck Clement at halftime with one of our interviews. Drobic, three-point territory. It goes. Cuts the lead to 6, less than a minute to go.
Well, this is really starting to show on the Glenlawn faces. They are playing like a different team now and playing with a lot more confidence. Those three-pointers are helping them and just getting those points on the scoreboard.
On the other hand, we're starting to see Oak Park break down a little bit here, including a traveling violation in their own half the court, which gives the ball back to Glenlawn with just 45 seconds now left in the first half.
Well, we talked about any game, especially a provincial final, both teams have to come out ready to play. You know that the other team is not going to roll over and play dead, so if you want this one, boy, you're going to have to earn it.
Ligal Antoniak on the drive, cuts the lead to 4.
There's only 25 seconds left in the game.
In our first half,
Sorry,
we should
first
say.
half. Getting too excited here.
Ball goes out of bounds. The Lions with 18 seconds now have a chance to cut the lead to 2 after being down by 15. Ligal Antoniak, 10 seconds to work with. You see the time on your television screen. Drobic from the baseline. It goes! High drama here at the Duckworth Center. Our score at the half. The Oak Park Raiders 21, the Glenlawn Lions 19. Stick around, Chuck Clement will have some interviews at halftime, and then after that, wicked wild, exciting second half action here on Cable 11.
Think she'll be on time? Nah, she never is. Miracles happen. Geek in the back. Why don't you put her in the back? Get in the back.
Hey, you. Hi.
How's work?
Oh, it was really slow. I could not wait to get out of there.
You're out of there.
I can't believe your mom actually let you use the car.
Yeah, little bro here said he had to drop off some homework at some guy's place or something.
Cool. So what'd you guys do tonight?
Nothing. Cruise around. Stop by Chris's place to pick up my CDs.
I thought you were done with those guys.
I just went to pick up my CDs.
Oh, Chris is such a loser. You know how much trouble you get into when you're with those guys, remember?
She's right, man. Chris is a goof.
Shut up! You want to walk?
Maybe I should walk.
No one's walking. Jack!
All right, welcome back, everybody. Courtside here at the University of Winnipeg's Duckworth Center. It's halftime in the girls' championship final, and it's Oak Park being ahead of Glenlawn right now by a score of 21-19. Easy for me to say. I'm joined right now at courtside by Lori May, who's probably familiar to many of our viewers here on Cable 11. Lori, one of our basketball commentators here. And Lori, what do you make so far of this relatively low-scoring game between Oak Park and Glenlawn?
Well, as you said, Chuck, it is low scoring, but there's been a lot going on, and you were saying with being somewhat tongue-tied yourself, a big flurry there at the end by Glenlawn. They're right back into it, and it's just going to continue. It's going to be a great second half.
What did Oak Park do well in the early goings to come out to that big 21-4, 21-6 lead there? I don't know exactly what it was.
Well, Coach Brown's team did an excellent job in terms of moving the basketball. They made Glenlawn work very hard. They hit some from the outside, and then what they did down the stretch was they got the ball inside to Andrea Wilkie, and I think for them that's going to be the key. Once the ball gets into Andrea's hands, she's either going to score or she's going to look for someone to pass. She's an exceptionally good post player, and I think what's going to have to happen is we're going to have to see more of that if we're on the Oak Park side.
Glenlawn got off to a slow start, as we said, but they came on strong at the end. What did they do to turn around their game?
Well, what Glenlawn did, of course, is they started attacking the basket. What we had is we had a lot of offensive motion by the Lions, but they weren't attacking the basket. And as we saw down the end there near the end of the first half, they started to attack the basket. We've got Jane Legal-Antoniak taking the ball to the hole. And I think what we've got to do is we've got to get Michelle Smith a little bit lower on the post, and then she can really hurt the Raiders. And I'm pretty sure that's what Coach Kornberger, he took a lot of timeouts there in the first half, showed some composure, settled the girls down, and we got a game.
Do you dare make a prediction in this one?
Oh, this one's going to be too close to call, I think. But I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a close one. And if things keep going the way they are, don't be afraid. There might be overtime.
Give us a prediction or a little bit of insight on the boys' final. We've got a very powerful Jean Sauvé team coming up against John Taylor here tonight.
It's going to be a great boys' final as well. First of all, as you mentioned, Sauvé, they've got a great 1-2 punch inside, and I think that's going to be the key if they intend to win this game. Coach Reed knows the ball has to go inside where the two twins can do some damage. On the other side of the coin, though, you look at Coach Friesen's team, they are tough. They're tough from the outside, and they'll put a lot of pressure on Sauvé.
Well, Laurie, thanks for all your expertise, and good luck with the watching the rest of the games here. Don't get hit by any balls out there.
It's going to be exciting. Come on down.
All right, Laurie May, thank you very much at courtside, and we're going to send it right up right now back to Sean Coates and Missy Purchase. Guys?
Thank you very much, Chuck Clement. Good hearing Laurie May again on our Cable 11 broadcast here. Missy, first of all, some comments on the jugglers that we had on the court. I understand you know who some of these people are.
Well, the group that we have on the court doing the juggling right now is from École Saint-Germain, which is a elementary school in St. Vital School Division. The person that's in charge of this is Monique Lemay, and she's actually a former teacher from Garden City Collegiate. So I had the pleasure of working with Monique Lemay for a couple of years. These are grade 2 to 5 students. So they're putting on a pretty good demonstration of juggling.
So they've been juggling on the court. We've been juggling with the lineups and everything going on here. We've really had to take a look at two different ball games here, Missy. The first quarter and a half, pretty much all Oak Park, they were up 17-4. However, it's now 21-19, and it's been a 15-4 run the other way by Glenlawn in the second half of the second quarter.
That's right. It was looking like it was all Oak Park there for a bit, but we talked about how it's a provincial final, and there's no way Glenlawn's going to give up easy here and roll over and play dead. All they needed to do was stay very positive, play together as a team, and be aggressive. And that's exactly what they started doing. And Laurie May also mentioned that. They started, besides just passing the ball around and getting some motion, they started getting aggressive and driving to the basket. That's the only way you're going to get points on the board, and that's what they started doing. So now it's a very close game.
Okay, so we should have an exciting second half up and coming here, and we're going to rejoin the play after this short break here on Cable 11. Stick around.
Watch Norm Abrams and learn how to create projects from the first piece of wood to the final coat of varnish.
I know what you're thinking, and you're right. I got a little carried away.
New Yankee Workshop, Monday at 10 on Life Network.
You want to walk?
Maybe I should walk.
No one's walking.
1, 2, stand up. That's it. Try to bring your arms forward. Take long, deep breaths. I can't. Okay, hold on, Michelle. Hold on. Bend your knee. Bend your knee. Hold on. Tomorrow will be better. It'll get easier each day.
Just look at her. What a difference. Till a few months ago, we thought kidney dialysis was her only chance. But then a kidney donor was found. Someone took the time to sign a donor card and tell their family their wishes. Please, Discuss organ donation with your family and sign a donor card today. You'll give someone like Michelle a second chance.
During March Kidney Month, when a Kidney Foundation volunteer knocks on your door, please make your donation a generous one.
Welcome back to Cable 11's coverage of the Provincial 4A High School Basketball Championships. We're at halftime of the girls' game, the first part of our doubleheader this evening. We've got about a minute 24 to go before the second half starts. There's some Raiders fans in the crowd, and their team is up 21-19. It's a close one here at the Duckworth, and we'd just like to review the top 10 female players of the year at the high school level. We mentioned just a few moments ago that Heidi Schwartz was one of those players. She's ranked number 1. Jennifer Parisian of the Oak Park Raiders, who we're seeing here this evening, she's ranked number 2. Jane Legal-Antoniuk, who we're also seeing here, is ranked number 3. And as we continue on down, Kara Braun, the Vincent Massey Trojans, 5'7" guards, ranked number 4. Andrea Wilkie of the Oak Park Raiders, 5. Melissa Stowes of the Miles Mac Buckeyes, 6. Anna Druniak, the grade 11 standout, 7th. Sagrita Andrew, the Dakota Lancers, 8th. Michelle Edwards of the Fort Richmond Centurions, 9. And Lisa Bodners of the Toulon Saints, ranked number 10. Missy, I understand you have some scoring updates for us from that first half of play.
That's right. On the Oak Park side, we had number 33, Emily Rimmer, leading the way with 6 points. Andrea Wilkie, number 24, with 5 points. And Margot Clues, number 44, with 4 points. On the other side, Glenlawn, number 55, Vanya Drobic, 9 points. And number 4, Jane Legal-Antoniuk, with 4 points. So things pretty much spread out here amongst the team.
We're just seconds away from the start of this third quarter. The possession arrow indicates that the Glenlawn Lions will start with the ball here in the second half. 21-19 is our score. Jane Legal-Antoniuk talking to referee Phil Sam before we get underway here. Bit of a smile. Nice to see between players and officials. I'm sure Jane explaining the rules of the game to Phil, trying to keep them online here.
That's right. You got to keep these referees on their toes, and sometimes they get forgetful, so a friendly reminder never hurts.
Okay, the Glenlawn Lions running a stack inbound here. Legal-Antoniuk with the ball. Gets it back to Smith, who returns it to Jane. Legal-Antoniuk guarded by Shannon Yaroshak. That was the matchup we talked about at the start of this broadcast. Both players playing with 2 fouls. Rayner to Legal-Antoniuk. She drives the baseline. She goes up. Her shot is blocked. Coming up with it is Yaroshak. Dishes it off to Smith. Parisian now coming back for the Raiders. Ball goes across to Plews. Over to Parisian, wide open 3-point territory. She hits the 3. You can't leave Jennifer that wide open missing.
Well, we saw her the other night sink quite a few 3-pointers, so they've got to honor that. It's important to see what Oak Park was going to do with their first possession, because we ended the first half with everything going Glenlawn's way, so that's an excellent way to respond.
We had a traveling call earlier by against Michelle Smith, and now we're going to have a foul against Jane Legal-Antoniuk. That's her 3rd, team foul number 1 of the half. Plews inbounding. Gets it to Smith. Ball slapped away by Legal-Antoniuk, who gets it. Goes in off the steal. Layup. Ball doesn't drop. It falls short for her.
Well, Sean, one thing that was really impressive there was Jane Legal-Antoniuk was just called for that last foul, but was not afraid of going for that steal. So I think that's an impressive attitude.
Rayner with the block of Jennifer Parisian. Ball goes to Legal-Antoniuk now. 24-19 our score. We're just over a minute into the third quarter. Smith gets it over to Drobic. Drobic with 9 points in that first half, leading the comeback for the Lions. Drobic fakes the three, drives, shoots it from the baseline. It goes down. Our first player to hit double figures this evening.
Well, that was a nice move by Drobic, and that's exactly what players need to do. They've got to make a move to shake off the defense.
Parisian missed the shot. Number 24, Wilkie, got the rebound, however, and she drew the foul, which I believe will go against number 20, Jillian Burkett. That's Burkett's first team foul, number 2 of the half.
Jillian Burkett, one of the grade 10s, and actually the only grade 10 on the Glenlawn Lion roster. Also a member of the Provincial volleyball team. And she's known for her block shots.
Rhea Zudden back in the game now for the Lions, replacing Ligal Antoniak. Wilkie at the line. Misses the shot. Burkett with the board, gives it to Rayner. Drobic coming down the court. It's a to Rhea Zudden. Inside for Smith. Smith dishes it back out to Rhea Zudden. Bounce pass into Smith. Triple team. She goes up in traffic. Misses the shot, but she's fouled. And Michelle will go to the line.
Well, and that's what Michelle Smith needs to do. She's got to play aggressively. Glenlawn needs her inside. That was a good fake to the right and then a movement to the left and went after the shot. She was triple teamed there.
That foul charged against number 24, Andrea Wilkie. That's Wilkie's first. Team foul number 1 of the half against the Raiders. Smith hits the second one. Long pass for Shannon Yaroshak, who can't hang on to it. It goes out of bounds. Missy, that's a tough one because you're waiting all day for the ball to get to you, and as soon as it gets there, you can't get control of it.
That's right. That can be very frustrating. It was a long pass, but it certainly bounced pretty high, and she was unable to control that.
Burkett across to Smith. Smith fakes, drives. There's a foul before the shot. That goes against number 24, Andrea Wilkie. That's her second.
Well, we talked about Glenlawn needing Smith to play aggressively, and we're seeing that so far in this third quarter. Andrea Wilkie just playing a little too tight on defense there.
Ligal Antoniak returns to play, replacing Rhea Zudden. She'll inbound the ball. It goes into Smith. Smith working up top. She drives. Passes it off. Burkett to Ligal Antoniak. Drobic now. Moving in. Works off the screen set by Burkett. Dishes to Ligal Antoniak. Back to Rayner. Double teaming by the Raiders leads to a steal. And they'll come back down the court. They lead it by 2.
Well, it looked like Brenna Smith got a piece of that and resulted in the turnover. Oak Park taking over possession.
Yaroshak, skip pass across the zone to Parisian. She drives, shoots, in and out. Ball's rebounded by Burkett, hands it off to Rayner. Lions with the ball.
Burkett doing a good job underneath the boards, and Glenlawn needs that from their bigger players. She's 6 feet. She's got to haul down some of those rebounds.
Smith up top. Across to Rayner. Drives and spins. Gets it back to Drobic. Ligal Antoniak. To Smith. Smith drives. Wants to put up the shot, but she can't. Gives it to Ligal Antoniak. Smith now. Lions being very patient on offense. Reversing the ball to Drobic.
Looks like they're trying to overcrowd the one side and create a one-on-one on the other side.
Rayner with the ball. Good defense by the Raiders. Smith drives, puts up the shot. Doesn't go. She gets her own rebound. It's blocked by number 44, Margot Blues.
Well, that's what they need Smith to do. It looked like she took just a little bit too long and hesitated on that shot.
Smith to Blues. Fakes, takes, doesn't make. Ball's rebounded by Burkett. Goes to Drobic. Drobic 1-on-3. And wisely, she pulls it out to set it up. Smith with the ball. Goes to Vanya Drobic. Ball's lobbed into Smith. Smith in traffic, puts up the high shot, and it goes down. Tough shot for Michelle to make against two players.
Well, it certainly was a tough shot. She laid that one up really, really high, and it was fortunate to go off the backboard and in.
Down the other end of the court, Yaroshak to Blues inside to Wilkie. She's got position. Doesn't hit the basket. Parisian with the board.
Well, Wilkie certainly showing some good moves underneath the basket. It's just not falling in.
Yaroshak gets her shot blocked by Burkett. Ball goes to Legal-Antoniuk, and she starts to break the other way. We're tied at 25. Ball's thrown out of bounds. Coach Kornberger saying, settle it down, settle it down.
Well, when you get the ball, very important for Glenlawn. I'm sure they want to take the lead, so they need to settle down and just get things under control here.
Get a look at Vanya Drobic. Lived in what is now the former Yugoslavia. Came to Canada a few years ago. Has done very well playing for Glenlawn since she's been at the school. Ball's almost stolen by Drobic. It goes out of bounds. Coming back into the game, number 13, Tracy Adolph.
That could help Glenlawn's defense because Tracy Adolph is known for her very aggressive and strong defensive skills.
Yaroshak from the baseline. Shot goes long. Rebounded by Riza. Gives it to Legal-Antoniuk. We have 4:08 to go here in the third quarter. We're tied at 25 in the championship final of the Provincial 4A Basketball Championships. Warnick drives the paint, has a lane, puts up the two-hander, and it drops. For the first time tonight, Misty, the Glenlawn Lions have a lead.
Well, like you said, it's the first time they had the lead, and I'll tell you, that was an aggressive play by Alana Warnick. She's a very quick player. She saw Wilkie coming out on her, but avoided the foul there and reached around her and put that ball up. Very aggressive. That's what Glenlawn needs.
Adolph will pick up her third foul. That'll put Margot Plouz at the line. Her team down for the first time this evening. It's 27-25. We have 3.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Adolph will come out. Michelle Smith will report back to play. There we see Margot Plouz.
Margot Plouz at the free throw line.
Foul shot. So it's only a 1-point difference now. We get a look at Blues taking the second shot and she sinks the second one. We're now back at 27 all tie game.
Legal-Antoniuk with the ball gets it into Smith. We're seeing some full court pressure now by Oak Park. Pass ahead to Warnick. Warnick with the lane, she drives and shoots, doesn't go. Big rebound by Parisian.
Well, that was a tough shot by number 32, Warnick. If she would have taken a look to the right, she had a player wide open.
Wilkie puts it in, and she's fouled. Oak Park regains the lead, and Wilkie has a chance to complete the three-point play.
Well, Sean, this provincial final turning into a real fight. We've seen the lead change hands now in this third quarter a couple of times.
Warnick picks up her fourth foul. She'll have a seat coming right back in as Jillian Burkett. Also returning to play is number 14, Diana Rayner. Get a look at Coach Brown. On at his player, number 24, Andrew Wilkie. Wilkie hits the free throw. 3-point lead. It's 30-27 with 3:05 to go.
And we're seeing the press being put on by Oak Park.
Rayner to Smith. Hands it off to Legal-Antoniuk. That's Drobic. Drobic on the drive, goes up, little baby hook. Nice style by Vanya.
Just a 1-point game right now, 30-29, Oak Park leads.
Rimmer. Moves the ball around, gets it to Blues. Parisian, down low Yaroshak. She drives in traffic. She's knocked to the floor. No call. Ball saved by Blues, but she stepped out of bounds.
I think Yaroshak was looking for a foul to be called there. When she made a good move there, went to drive to the basket. There was a few Glenlawn players on her. I think she was looking for a foul to be called.
Players all over the floor battling for that ball, and I believe there will be a foul here, and it'll go against Margot Blues.
Looks like we have an injury on the floor. Someone is bleeding. That's Shannon Yaroshak. That looks like I don't know if it's her hand, but...
The medical kit.
Yeah, it's her chin, actually. I believe, Missy, we can just see...
No, you're okay. It's just
knocked to the ground a little bit. Maybe players were rolling all over, so she might have...
Just relax. Relax.
Knocked to the ground.
Okay, we got it. We're okay.
Blues picks up her second foul on that play.
Thanks a lot, Laura. Thank you. Here.
Just a reminder, Missy,
No,
that
yeah, but you can't for a while. You got to stop the bleeding, okay?
That just for the safety of the players, that they want to make sure
What
that
happened?
any cuts are covered up and all blood on uniforms. And you see some on the floor there, obviously, will get wiped up and cleared away, so it doesn't cause any problems for any of the other players.
Okay.
That's right. So there'll be a slight delay. Shannon now leaving the court. You have to clean up the floor like you mentioned, Sean. She'll have to sit out for a bit, stop the bleeding. I'm sure they'll stitch that up, tape it up, and she'll be back on the floor.
Hey.
Look at Shannon there. You can see her uniform covered in blood too. So we're just going to take a short delay here. 2:20 to go here in the third quarter. 30-29. We're locked up in a real good one here at the University of Winnipeg's Duckworth Center. Just a reminder, it was 19-4 at one point in favor of the Oak Park Raiders. However, the Glenlawn Lions mounted a big comeback in the late second quarter to cut the lead to 2 at the half, and they have had a lead in this third quarter, and right now it's just a 1-point ball game.
Well, the pace has certainly picked up. It started off as a pretty slow game, moving the ball around, being very patient, not getting a lot of opportunity to drive to the baskets, but they've certainly picked up the aggressiveness in this game, and they're starting to play very, very hard, and it's turned out to be a point-for-point, end-to-end action game.
Getting a look at fans from both sides. These, of course, are the Glenlawn Lions fans, and then some other fans in attendance here. People still filing into the Duckworth Center. Both sides of the gymnasium are open, so there's a good crowd here. There we go. We're here, Sean Coates, Missy Purchase, up in the stands at the University of Winnipeg's Duckworth Center. As we mentioned, this is the first part of 2 championship games we'll be bringing you here this evening. The boys' action follows after this, featuring the College Jean Sauvé Olympienne and the John Taylor Pipers. Again, Missy, a battle of 1 and 2 in the girls' games, battle of 1 and 2 in the boys' game.
That's right. It doesn't happen often, but it is certainly happening this year in the High School Athletic Association Provincial Championship. Number 1 and 2, no upsets, advance to the final. Smith
with the ball. Gets it to Ligal Antoniak. Over to Drobic. Drobic bounce pass to Smith. Smith trying to do something on her own. Drives into trouble and can't get rid of the ball. It's stolen on the part of Emily Rimmer.
Well, it's good that Smith is remaining aggressive, but once you leave the ground there, if you're in trouble and there's no one to pass to, that's exactly what happens, a turnover.
Parisian in the corner. Fires it in to the paint where Emily Rimmer is. She takes the shot. It doesn't go. Ball's on the deck. Wilkie comes up with it. Back to Rimmer. Parisian from the baseline. Her shot drops. 3-point lead once again for Oak Park.
Well, who other than Jennifer Parisian? We saw her get a number of points the other night. She's back on the scoreboard again.
Ligal Antoniak with the ball. Coming up court. Drobic with it now, right side to Rayner. Ligal Antoniak looking for Drobic. Hangs onto the ball. 3-point lead now with just a minute to go in the third quarter. Oak Park leads it.
Well, this could be a very important possession for Glenlawn. They don't want to see Oak Park get a little bit of a lead here.
Legal-Antoniak with a three. It doesn't go. Oak Park gets the ball back. Legal-Antoniak will get called for her fourth foul, Missy. And that could hurt the Glenlawn cause, having their top guard with 4 fouls.
Well, that's for sure. We talked about the importance of Jane Legal-Antoniak. Now with her fourth foul, she went for the steal there. You couldn't blame her. She saw the pass coming, but lost sight of where the player was and bumped into her, which resulted in that foul being called.
Just 45 and a half seconds to go here in the third quarter. Murdoch to Parisian. Up top to Rimmer. There's Plews from the baseline. Shot is short. Rebounded by Burkett.
Well, Burkett doing a good job bringing down that rebound. That certainly has helped Glenlawn.
Riz, bounce pass intercepted by Parisian. Just 26 seconds to go now.
Well, the last few minutes again, things turning in Oak Park's favor.
They might play for one here in a 3-point lead in the third quarter. Rimmer to Parisian. Parisian wide open. There's the shot, in and out, doesn't go. Underneath Plews. She draws a foul with just 4.8 seconds to go in the third quarter. Looks like this will go against Diana Rayner.
Well, a smart play by Plews. She was underneath the basket. There's only 4.8 seconds left. Go up. Hopefully you draw the foul, and that's exactly what happened.
That's Rayner's third. Team foul number 6.5. Plews misses the first. She misses the second. Ball's rebounded by Burkett. Not much time. Can Droba get a shot off?
Well, she's aware of the clock. Goes up for the shot. Off the backboard. Not in.
After 3 quarters of play, it's a 3-point ball game. Oak Park leads at 32-29 over Glenlawn. We'll be back.
Boy, are we having fun today in the workshop.
Woodworking is child's play if you follow the rules of an expert.
Always adjust your blade to the appropriate height, teeth just up high enough so that they're raking through the wood.
Join Rene Canton as he takes projects from the beginning to the final touches.
Once I know everything's set properly, I can then begin to grow my finished piece of wood.
In the Workshop, weeknights at 7 on HGTV, Home and Garden Television Canada.
Third quarter action just underway. 32-29. Fourth quarter action just underway, I should say. Parisian with the shot from the outside. Ball goes out of bounds. Oak Park will hang on to it. Raiders lead it by 3 here in the fourth.
Well, this has turned into be a very, very close game. The outcome still to be determined. We're in the fourth quarter right now. Anything can happen.
Rimmer drives and draws the foul. And it goes against Vanya Drobic. That's Vanya's third. Team foul number 7.5. That means Oak Park will be in the bonus situation for the remainder of this game.
The player that's still not on the floor is Shannon Yerishak. She took that injury to the chin, but it looks like she might get ready to come on soon.
And Oak Park certainly could use her. Rimmer hit the first. And makes the second. Ball goes into Riaz and full court pressure by Oak Park. Drobic to Rayner. Traveling violation called against Glenlawn.
Well, when she got the ball, it looked like she shuffled a little bit, got called on the travel. So the full court press effective by Oak Park.
Substitutions returning to play for Glenlawn. Number 32, Alana Warnick, and number 4, Jane Legal-Antoniak.
Well, Jane Legal-Antoniak playing with 4 fouls, so tough position for her. Obviously can't play as aggressive on defense because they cannot afford to lose her.
But you can't afford to not have her on the floor either, so Coach Kornberger going with that decision. Yerishak is back in the ball game. Rimmer bounces it back out to Parisian. finds Yarashak. Fakes a shot, gets it to Rimmer. There's Parisian on the baseline. Her shot goes. 7-point lead now in favor of Oak Park. Oak Park pressure once again. Ball goes ahead to Smith. It's on the floor. Warnick comes up with it. She gives it to Smith. Hands it off to Galantoniak. Timeout called by Glenlawn. We've played just over a minute in the fourth quarter. Our score 36-29 in favor of Oak Park.
Okay, you recovered well, but let's make sure we cannot give up anything deep there. All right, let's say it contained pressure. Okay, contained pressure. Don't give up anything deep. Let's make sure we get back. Okay, we cannot stop playing offense. All right, we got to keep attacking. We're high post with baseline. Okay, I want you to play the 2 spot. Okay, just play up high, and you're running the baseline. Okay.
Julian's not playing on me. Michelle's playing on me, so Julian's on like a wing.
Yeah, she's stepping out on she's stepping out on Jen, right? Okay. Yeah. So all we have to do, hey, we have to make sure we get good possessions, and most of all, do not get beat deep. Let's go. Be smart. Come on now. 3, 2, 1.
Comments there by Coach Brown talking to his team, and as we get a look out there at number 25 on the Oak Park Raiders, we'll see that Shannon Yarashek's wearing a different pair of shorts now, Missy. That's because of that blood roll that we had talked about. So she had to change her uniform before she could come back on the floor.
That's right, and that's why she's actually in a different pair of shorts right now. So you notice that the shorts have the stripe on it, so it's a slightly different pair of shorts.
Makes her look faster, though, I find.
Definitely does.
36-29 our score. Warnick to Smith. Smith drives, shoots from the junction high off the glass. Doesn't go down for it. It's out of bounds. Lions will hang on to it.
Yeah, it looked like that ball went off Andrea Wilkie.
See Jane Legal-Antoniak tying up her shoes here. Another safety measure in high school sports. Ball goes into Warnick. Warnick also playing with 4 fouls. Gets the ball back.
Well, I think having Jane Legal-Antoniak as well as Warnick on the floor is going to be very important for Glenlawn. Those are 2 players that generate a lot of the offense, and we've seen Warnick tonight be extremely aggressive.
Blues had that last steal, and now she passes it off to Wilkie. Traveling violation called against Oak Park.
Andrea Wilkie couldn't quite grab that ball and kept moving while she was attempting to do that.
Legal-Antoniak with the ball. Oak Park applying some 3-quarter pressure here. Playing a man-to-man defense. Warnick drives. Looks for help. Passes it back to Drobic. To Warnick, now to Legal-Antoniak. Warnick on the baseline, driving on Rimmer. Gets into trouble. Jump ball called in the alternating possession. Glenlawn will hang on to it.
Well, Rimmer and Blues playing very tough defense. They're coming right out on Warnick and doing a good job denying Glenlawn an opportunity for a shot.
Glenlawn inbounds the ball. Goes to Rayner. Up top to Warnick. Warnick drives the paint. There's going to be a reaching foul called against Oak Park. I believe this will be Emily Rimmer that will get assessed the foul. Yes, indeed. Rimmer picks up her second.
Well, once again, I'm very impressed with number 32, Alana Warnick. She's playing outstanding in this provincial final. She is not afraid of driving to the basket, and that's a type of aggressive play or assertive play that you need in a final like this. There is no tomorrow. There's no holding back. You've got to give it everything in this game, and she's doing just that.
Legal-Antoniak working as Yarashak up top to Rayner. Rayner looking inside, ball stolen by Rimmer. She falls to the floor. Rayner hustles after, but Yarashak also hustles, and she gets the ball. Her shot doesn't go down, but she does draw the foul. I believe this will be Rayner's 4th.
Jaroshack went up for that shot, and once again, we've seen that unfriendly rim. I don't think I've seen so many missed shots at this basket.
Rayner with her fourth. There we get a look at Shannon Jaroshack all taped up after cutting herself on an earlier play. She hits the first. 8-point lead now for the Raiders.
Well, we're almost 3 minutes into this fourth quarter, and Glenlawn has yet to put any points on the board. That's something we saw, I believe, in the second quarter where things weren't going too well for Glenlawn, but all of a sudden towards the latter part of the second quarter, Glenlawn went on a fast run, getting a lot of points. So we know they're capable of doing it.
Blues got the rebound off the missed free throw and then put it down. 10-point lead once again for the Raiders. Legal-Antoniak with a shot. It goes. And guess what, folks? She's fouled. She'll go to the line to try and complete the three-point play.
Well, and sometimes all it takes is a play like that to turn things around and give Glenlawn a little bit of confidence.
It's Jaroshack's third personal. Team foul number 5 of the half.
Get off like that. Let's go.
Coach Brown talking to Emily Rimmer. She hits it, cuts the lead to 7. Parisian coming back down the court. Picks up her dribble, finds Jaroshack. To Parisian, right across the court to Blues. Parisian pulls it out. Jaroshack on the wing. To Parisian. Finds Rimmer. Rimmer drives, goes up with the shot. It's blocked by Burkett. Ball's on the ground and coming up with it is Drobic. Vanya Drobic going by Parisian. Spins around and sets things up.
Well, another good move by Drobic. Good anticipation on her part. She also saw that 3 Oak Park players were back ready to play some defense against her, so very wisely waits for her teammates to get back on this half.
Drobic with the ball, trying to work up the screen. Set by Warnick. She does. Loses control of the ball and it goes out of bounds. Ball fired down the court and out of bounds. Turnover by Oak Park. Lions get the ball back.
Well, we saw the Lions with the turnover, unable to control the ball, and we just saw Oak Park return that favor by throwing the ball out of bounds.
Michelle Smith waiting to get back into this game. Her team down by 7 with 5.5 minutes to go. Drobic with the ball to Legal-Antoniak. Again, Warnick with the screen. Drobic from the baseline, high arcing shot, drops. Big shot by Vanya.
Well, Vanya Drobic doing an outstanding job of shaking off the defender. She's making a move, driving around, going up for the jump shot. Very smart on her part.
Parisian wide open from 3. They only call it a 2, but it counts.
Well, that's shooting under some pressure. We just saw things starting to turn Glenlawn's way, but then Oak Park not giving up. They come right back, and Parisian puts up the 2.
Drobic with the ball. Trying to use the screen set by Warnick. 3-point attempt is partially blocked. Wilkie with the board.
Well, Glenlawn's attempting to set the screen, but they're not moving very well off the screen. You've got to drive around that. You're taking too long.
We have a timeout call by Coach Murray Brown of the Oak Park Raiders. His team leads at 42-34. We'll see if we can listen in.
They're going to come on and step out and... Hey, listen. If they're going to step out and set that high screen, okay, be aware. You guys have to talk. If there's room to step up, tell her to step up. All right, if it's a good screen, let's switch. Okay, they're not going to get a mismatch off that. All they're looking for is to pop off that screen. We don't want to switch if we can get through there, but make sure if it's a good screen, we do. All right, and don't jump at the shooter. Get a hand there. I mean, last thing we need to do is send him to the line now. Okay? Now, Offensively, let's make sure that we run high post, all right, with a baseline cutter and get a good possession. Okay, pardon me? No, you're running. You are running baseline. But be patient. We don't have to force a shot now. All right. If we reverse the ball a couple of times, we're going to get a wide open shot. Okay, but it's just a matter of being smart. If they come out man to man, be aware of that and go motion. All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1.
And some good words of advice from Coach Brown.
What's that?
We're talking about the screen that Glenlawn's attempting to set on Oak Park. They've got to be able to help each other out, communicate that it's there, let her know if she's got some space to move up on that. And also on defense, don't jump at the shooter. Just get your hand up, get it in her face, try and throw her off. But the minute you leave the ground, they can drive right around you. They also don't want to foul at this point, which gives Glenlawn an opportunity to put some points on the board without the clock running.
This action tonight being brought to you by Cable 11. It's a partnership between Videon and Shaw to bring you this provincial championship here from the University of Winnipeg's Duckworth Center. So we see a shot by Wilkie go up. She's fouled. And if this goes against Warnick, it'll be her 5th. No, they call it against Smith. That's her first. And at the line, Andrea Wilkie.
Well, Sean, it's the 4th quarter, just over 4 minutes left to play. With that Smith's first foul, and I think Glenlawn should be trying to get her to play the aggressive defense because they've got a few players they can't afford to lose right now that are in foul trouble. So if that's her first, maybe she should be playing a little bit aggressive there and helping out because she can afford to take a foul or two.
Meanwhile, 3 of her teammates on the floor have 4 fouls. And Miguel Antoniak draws another foul, this one from Margot Plews, I believe. If it goes against Plews, it'll be her 3rd. Yes, it does. It's Plews' 3rd. It's team foul number 6 of the half against the Raiders.
Jane Antoniak doing a good job of playing very disciplined on the floor. She came in early in the 4th quarter with 4 fouls. There's only 4 minutes left to play, and she hasn't taken that 5th foul. So good discipline on her part.
Miguel Antoniak works around the screen set by Warnick. Dishes off to Smith. Smith down low, goes up. Her shot is blocked by Wilkie. Parisian now coming back. 3:45 to go in the 4th. Wilkie underneath. No basket. She traveled.
Unfortunate for Oak Park. On the other side, Glenlawn getting the ball into Michelle Smith. She's just taking a little bit too long to release that ball. The hands were right up on her. She had 3 players. So why not try a fadeaway?
Parisian down low looking for Yaroshak. They bounce it into Wilkie. No travel this time. She hits it. 11-point lead now for the Raiders with 3:25 to go.
Well, Glenlawn's going to have to step it up a little bit here. They're going to have to play smart and very aggressive.
Warnick on the drive. Drobic fakes the 3, drives in, shoots the 2, and she hits it. Leads cut to 9.
Well, Drobic's had the hot hand lately. I'd be trying to go to her as much as possible.
Parisian over to Rimmer. Rimmer down low looking for Yaroshak. Turnaround. She's fouled by number 14, Diana Rayner. That will be her 5th and disqualifying foul.
Well, it looked like Diana Rayner just got the hand on the ball there and swatted it away, but I think a part of her body also got Yaroshak.
There we go. Look at Shannon. So 5 fouls and a disqualification against Rayner will give Coach Kornberger a chance to talk to his team. Just a reminder, our score, 45-36 in favor of the Oak Park Raiders over the Glenlawn Lions with 2:58 to go here. Chuck Clement, Missy Purchase, and Sean Coates bringing you all this action from the Duckworth Center. After this game, there will, of course, be the presentation of the medals and the championship banner. Chuck Clement will have some interviews. And then following that, we will have the boys game between the Collège Jean Sauvé at the end, the number 1 ranked team in the province, taking on the number 2 ranked team in the province, the John Taylor Pipers and Missy. I'm looking forward to that one. Both of those teams can play.
Well, it's going to be a very, very close game. Not only because it's a provincial final and there's no way anyone's going to hold back, but 2 very evenly matched teams.
So we get a look at the Lions bench. They're looking on, checking the scoreboard. And they see that they're down by 9, and Yaroshak's at the line. 2-shot bonus for Yarashak. Misses the first. And she misses the second. Ball's rebounded by Legal Antonia.
Sean, one person that's probably in the crowd tonight because Glenlawn's playing is Heather Bradshaw. She's the varsity girls volleyball coach, and I'd like to just wish her well in a speedy recovery. She had in January hip surgery, and we'd just like to see her get back on her feet, be healthy.
And hit some more balls at your kids. Get back out there. We miss you. You got to get back on the court. Yes, Heather, we hope you do get well. Right now, playing very well are the Oak Park Raiders. They lead it by 9 with 2:37 to go. Jennifer Parisian across to Rimmer. Yarashak now to Blues. Raiders trying to kill some time here. Parisian guarded closely by Drobic. Hands it off to Blues. Wide open on the baseline is Yarashak, but they throw it over her head and out of bounds.
Well, she was wide open there. The pass just went over her head. She was unable to jump and get that ball down.
Drobic ahead to Warnick. 3-point shot goes long, rebounded by Blues. 2:04 to go here in the fourth. Lions have to try and get a steal. Officials timeout on the floor because Andrea Wilkie has to tie her shoelace. And now we have an official timeout called by the Glenlawn Lions. Once again, we'll try and listen to one of the coaches.
Immediately following tonight's championship game will be the presentation of the All-Stars MVP Players' Choice Award and the championship banner pins. Following that will be closing remarks. Please remain seated for the presentation of these awards.
Missy, we're obviously not able to pick up the comments from the coaches at this point. We've got under 2 minutes to go here. 9-point lead for Oak Park. If you're Glenlawn, at what point do you start fouling?
Get a layup, okay? And hey, if you can't get a layup, just hang on to it, okay? We're 2 minutes. We're 2 minutes, and you're high. Motion high, okay? Oh no, that's fine. So let's just be aware of that. We have 2 timeouts left. If you get into any kind of trouble, okay, we got 2 timeouts left. Our season is down to 2 minutes. All right, let's want it. Come on now. 3, 2, 1.
Sorry, Sean, I didn't get an opportunity to finish that thought. At what point do you start fouling? You've got a few players in foul trouble here. I'd be picking who's going to take those fouls so you don't knock someone out of the game, but you've only got 2 minutes left to play. You're down by 9 points. That's a lot of points to make up. There's still a lot of time to make up those, but I think I'd be going for the ball immediately.
Blues looking inbound. She needs some help quickly. She gets it from Emily Rimmer. Clock counting now, 1:55 and counting. Rimmer tries to drive. She carried, though, before the collision. Turnover to Glenlawn.
It sounds like the crowd was a little bit surprised by that call.
As was Coach Brown, who's having a few words with Greg Shapansky. Ball's passed into Warnick. Warnick to Legal Antonia. Drobic on the left side. Drobic drives, goes up, nice little flush move, count the basket. She's fouled, and she'll go to the line. Her team is down by 7. They could cut the lead to 6.
Well, she did everything possible to avoid getting blocked on that shot. The ball found its way into the basket. Vanya Drobic at this point has been extremely hot. She has gotten a lot of the points in this fourth quarter for Glenlawn.
Lead's cut to 6. Buck 38 to go in the fourth. Raiders with the lead. Full court pressure by the Lions. Parisian. Pass down the court, intercepted by Legal Antoniak. Back come the Lions. Bounce pass to Drobic. They're setting a screen for her. She's trying to get open. Finds Smith. Smith drives, goes up with a shot. We have a foul. This will be called, I believe, against Margot Plews.
Well, it looks like Brian Kornberger is looking for that to be a 2-shot foul because she thought, or pardon me, he thought that Michelle Smith was in the process of shooting. So they're discussing it right now. Or hold on, we could be totally off our rocker here.
I believe they're calling an offensive foul against Michelle Smith. Yes, they are. It's her second of the game.
Well, the crowd did not like that call. Everything was indicated that Michelle Smith was fouled on that particular play. Maybe it was when she came down and was going for the rebound. Maybe she shoved someone out of the way in order to get the rebound. But I have to admit, I'm impressed with Michelle Smith being very assertive and driving to the basket because that's what Glenlawn needs to do. 1:13 left in this game, and they're down by 6.
Plews at the line. It's the first. 1:13 to go here.
Well, these become very important foul shots because if you can make it a larger lead, it just gives Glenlawn less opportunity to catch up.
And she misses the second. Ball goes off the hands of the Lions, I believe. Yes, it does. The Raiders will get the ball here in the forecourt.
Well, it almost looked like Wilkie was over Smith's back there, but I guess it went off Smith and out of bounds.
Ball goes into Rimmer. Rimmer fouled by Smith. One of the few players that can give some fouls here for the Lions.
That's right. That's only her 3rd foul, I believe. But not a lot of choice. 1:11 left. You got to go after the ball.
Michelle Smith with her third personal foul.
1:11 to go. 46-39 in favor of the Oak Park Raiders. Emily Rimmer at the line. Trying to extend her team's lead. She hits the first. And she misses the second. Smith comes up with the ball. Drives down the court. Pass to Rhea Zidden. Underneath, she misses it. Falls on the floor. Who comes up with it? We have a jump ball called on the alternating possession. The Raiders will get it.
Well, Monica Rhea-Zidden had an opportunity to get an easy 2 there, but unfortunately did not fall in.
Parisian with the ball. Her team is up by 8. Less than a minute to go now. Here in this game, Smith reaching for the ball gets called for the foul.
Well, we saw Warnick on the Oak Park player, but she can't take that 5th foul because she'll be out of the game. So very wisely, Michelle Smith came over to help out and go for the ball.
There you see the time on your screen, as well as Michelle Smith, who now has 4 fouls.
So who's left on the Glenlawn side that can afford to take the foul and not get out of the game?
Well, at this point, only Vanya Drobic, who has 3. The rest have 4. You pretty much just have to steal the ball and try and get as many baskets as you can. Parisian hits the pair. Her team is up by 10 now with just under 53 seconds to go.
Well, Oak Park doing a good job at the line, just putting that icing on the cake.
Ligal Antoniuk trying to set up for a 3. Gets it to Smith. Smith puts up the shot. Doesn't go. She fights for the ball. I believe that will be the 5th and disqualifying foul against Michelle Smith. Yes, it is. 5 fouls on Michelle Smith. Glenlawn Lions will bring in Adria Hazelwood. So it looks like
wherever the ball is, go to the offside on offense. We'll go a little bit more 2 minutes. No, guys, no 2 minutes. You know what? Yeah, go 2 minutes. But listen, get the ball in Vanya and Jane's hands or Monica and let them shoot it. Okay, find them real fast. Guys,
We're going to go 2-minute drill for about 10 seconds, see what happens, and then no fouls. Let's see if we can get a couple steals and miss some free throws. Let's go.
Some good comments there by Coach Kornberger saying they're going to go into their hurry-up drill, the 2-minute drill, and then not foul and see if they can get a couple of steals. If it leads to something great, if not, then they'll just let it go.
Well, they pretty much have to go for those steals. There's only 35.9 seconds left, so that would give them an opportunity to get a lot of points if they can get the steals and get some of the baskets.
Blues at the line. She misses the first. 49-39 our score. 35.9 seconds to go here in the fourth.
Player that came in for Glenlawn is Adria Hazelwood, a grade 11 forward. She missed a little bit of the season with knee injury, so you can see her on the court with a brace on that knee, but a very aggressive player.
11-point lead now for the Raiders. Lions trying to put up a three if they get an opportunity here. Riz heading across for Ligal Antoniak. Time running out on the Lions here. Drobic with the ball.
Glenlawn has to start making some moves so a player gets in the open here. Otherwise, they're not going to get that last shot.
There's the shot by Drobic. Time runs out on Glenlawn. The 1998 Provincial Power 8 Girls High School basketball champions are the Oak Park Raiders. So congratulations to Oak Park for their victory here tonight over Glenlawn. And indeed, congratulations to